Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we are going to analyze ETH. None of the content is financial advice. Let's get started with the risk model. This is the 20-week simple moving average price based risk normalized between 0 and 1. 0 denotes essentially lowest risk and 1 denotes highest risk. And the bands are in increment of 0.2 risk, or easier to understand 20% increment. Between 0 and 20% is this dark green color, and between 80 and 100% is the highest or red color. ETH did visit the highest risk not too long ago, that is middle of August of 2025. Back then, the ETH risk was 0.86, much higher than Bitcoin risk at the similar point at around 0.57. You can check ETH's price action now at around $4,400. Not too long ago, again, as the risk levels now are in a cool off mode, but in August, in the week of August 13, the price of ETH did reach that 5,000 level, that close enough to 5,000 level on its USD pair. Now the price action is back at around $4,400 or so. What remains to be seen is if the price action were to still hold this line, this white line over here, as much as it connects to major points over here, that level in September, as we move towards the end of September, is at around $4,400 or so. So that's the line in sand. Again, if ETH were to fall below the 4,400 level, then the next area of support, again back first major area support is at around $4,000. That's the 0.786 fib level. Price action did encounter significant resistance at that point. So I imagine if there is again, none of the content financial advice, if there is a further downturn, again, these areas which were at one point significant areas of resistance could flip into support, and these things do occur. If there is a further downside, then again, towards the end of September, as low as ETH could go per this technical levels, is towards this week ending in September at around 3,500, almost $3,600. Again, this is the bear case for ETH for September. If we were to look for any bull case for ETH, again, first testing the previous all-time high at around $5,950 level would be key for ETH. Coming back to the narratives and the positives, the news sentiment, again, it's kind of in the middle of the pack over the last 24 hours. Many narratives are bullish, some are bearish, most are neutral. Again, this is sourced from machine learning based news articles over the last 24 hours, derived from and classified by bearish into bullish, bearish, and neutral, and the sentiment confidence percentage using bird-based machine learning model. And again, you can check out each of the narrative, again, running away from them. This is negative. Again, why I'm worried. Again, these connotations sound negative. That's why they are flagged as red in color, whereas most of the bullish narratives are in green color. Overall sentiment is, as it relates to overall ranking, is at around 52. That is not too bullish, not too bearish, but slightly bullish bias. ETH risk is cooling off at this point is 0.63, whereas BTC risk has entered the safe zone, or again the low risk zone, less than 0.4 risk, where it's in this low risk environment. Historically speaking, DCA at low risk environment has not been the worst idea for BTC in terms of dip buying, short-term dip buying opportunity. The 2025 ROI for Bitcoin is from the yearly open up by about 22%, whereas ETH in 2025 has outperformed thus far, up by about 39%. Again, for the most of 2025, ETH was underperforming, but since about August, early August or early to mid August, that is since August 12, ETH has started outperforming BTC, as it usually does in the post-halving year. Again, not too dissimilar from what happened in 2021, where Bitcoin was up at 130% from yearly open. And if you compare ETH in 2021, again, almost half an order of magnitude higher than, again, almost 5x higher than um, BTC performance. So this is where we are in terms of Bitcoin versus ETH ROI. Overall bull market completion as it stands as of the day before yesterday, almost 50% complete as it stands with respect to the consolidated composite risk score between 0 and 1, again in increments of 0.2. This is not just Bitcoin or ETH, this is whole asset class as it relates to top 100 cryptos by market cap, how they are doing on on their own volatility, alpha, beta, risk adjusted return, and percent drawdown, sharp ratio adjustments such as. So this is again pointing to a 0.5, close enough to 0.5 or 50% completion. Again, this whenever this indicator flashes darkest blue, that is less than 0.2 risk, that's when major lows occur in the asset class. And in the bear market, there is a nature of this overall bull market completion or a composite risk score usually is in blue color, as it was from May 2022 till almost January 2024, as it relates to how risky or how much completed the asset class was in terms of bear market completion. This is all major cryptos, how they are doing on their risk journey. So this is not flashing any major topping signal. The overall narrative word cloud, this is the word cloud of major narratives in the asset class right now. ETH as a narrative has died down on in terms of the social media discussions over the last 7 days related to crypto on platforms such as YouTube and X. Bitcoin and altcoins have taken more of a center stage at this point. ETH, although, is a top performer over the last 90 days as it stands. All of these charts, by the way, are available on cryptoweeklies.com under this home page. Again, the crypto TLDR, the peak value, which is the composite risk that we saw, the narrative word cloud, the risk meter, and the SMA risk, all available for free. If you like, you can check them out. Not financial advice. ETH over the last 90 days is the best performing asset over compared to its peers. Again, not the recently released altcoins, but coins which have been around since 2021 and in top 50. So ETH up by about 80%. Similarly, Link is not too far behind at around 78%. Over the last 7 days, you can see that ETH has started to slow down, where Sol has taken more of a center stage over the last 30 days. But again, these things don't move in line. They have phases where ETH outperforms, then altcoins again start outperforming afterwards. All in all, right now, if we were to look at ETH in terms of the regression based fair value, still slightly undervalued as it stands with the polynomial on the fair value per the polynomial regression based model. Fair value is at around $5,100. Again, if we have some sort of a euphoria peak towards the end of 2025, that price action for ETH in that environment could go to $8,300, as if it were to touch that yellow line one more time. Since 2024 began, it has touched 3 times so far. If there is one more iteration to that polynomial regression based fair value and one standard deviation residual applied to the fair value, if there is one final push per the regression model, that's where the confluence lies for ETH at around $8,300, and that coincides well with the 1.618 is at around $7,500 or so. The regression based fair value is slightly lower than that. If we were to look at the machine learning based price forecast over the next 3 to 4 months, without euphoria, the one standard deviation bull case as it stands is concluding at around $6,500 at a weekly average. The daily high could be slightly higher, 10 to 20% higher than that. The 2 standard deviation euphoria peak is kind of confluent with that regression based 1 standard deviation residual at around $8,480. So that's where the price action could take us in that euphoria environment. The current DCA based risk, the regression based risk, is slightly coming close to that 30% or 24% as it stands today. If it were to go to that intermediate level between 0.5 and 0.6, the outlook for ETH is in between $7,400 and $8,450. So that's the range which has most amount of confluence as it stands today. And last but not the least is the estimated bull run target as it stands with the confluence of all of the individual risk based model, the regression or DCA risk, the time weighted average price risk, the 20-week simple moving average price risk, weighted risk, it's slightly under 50%, price action above 4,500 as it stands today. The estimated bull run peak for ETH is at around 10k, which is about 2.2x of the current price. With that, I'd like to conclude. Hope you enjoyed the content. Most area of confluence between 7,500 to 8,400. And if you did, please give a like and subscribe. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.